Is anyone able to confirm whether the webcast is live? Just bear with me, I'll just confirm that. Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending my virtual executive member for Commercial Strategy, Estates and Property Decision Day. The Decision Day is being webcast on YouTube via the County Council website. We'll kick off the meeting with deputations. Do we have any deputations received? I don't believe we have. No. None received. That's super. Thank you. We'll then launch into the key decisions that we have, which are non-exempt, non-confidential. The first one relates to managing Hampshire's built estate. Rebecca or Susan, can I ask you to present the paper, please?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Councillor Forster. So I updated the Buildings, Land and Procurement panel with the Managing Hampshire's Built Estate report this morning. The purpose of the report is to set out our maintenance priorities for the coming year, financial year of 22-23 for both the corporate and the schools estate, and bring forward the high-level budget allocations for approval in line with the approved and anticipated funding allocations. It also gives us an opportunity to update on a number of other items that the team have been working on, most notably the public sector decarbonisation grant work that will conclude by the end of June, and provides an update on the ongoing impacts of the pressures facing the construction industry on our work. So updating on the pressures in the industry more generally, but also on the work that we deliver. So we have brought forward, Councillor, 13 recommendations to the panel. So we are asking that you note the progress made on the delivery of the financial year that we have just concluded, the 21-22 repairs and maintenance programme, and also the projected outturn position for those budgets. We are asking that you approve the carry forward of unexpended balance of the 21-22 year programme into 22-23 to meet the commitments made against these budgets. We're asking you to approve the high-level allocation for the 22-23 repairs and maintenance budget for the corporate and the schools estates as set out in the report to address the highest priorities of health and safety, compliance, condition and business continuity. We also ask you to approve the provision of £670,000 of additional schools condition allocation funding for the planned recladding project at Wavell School, identified in the 22-23 CCBS capital programme, giving a total revised scheme value of £3,402,600, as set out in paragraph 57 of the report and also in the detailed project appraisal in the appendix. We're also asking that you recommend to Cabinet for its approval the allocation of £1.485 million of additional SCA funding for the thermal improvement works to the listed block at Warblington School, as identified in the 22-23 capital programme, with a revised total scheme value of £3.489 million, which is set out in paragraph 58 of the report and also in detail in the project appraisal within the appendices. We ask that you note the detailed programmes of work within each budget allocation for the year ahead. Those that fall within Chief Officer's financial delegations will be approved by the Director of CCBS. We ask that you note our progress made on the decarbonisation programme and the forecasted reductions in carbon emissions arising from that work, and the emerging work ongoing to shape the long-term strategy around climate change for the built estate. And then finally, we also ask you to note the impact on the construction industry, the market conditions and the associated work being delivered against the County Council's built estate. Councillor Forster, you're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. We went through a lot of this in the BLAPP panel this morning in some significant detail, and it was really encouraging to see both the detail and hear the report. Greatly appreciate the work that's being done on decarbonisation and improvement of the condition of the schools and our other buildings. I am pleased to approve all those recommendations or make those recommendations as proposed in the report. So I'd like to thank you and all those who've been involved in that and consider all those recommendations as detailed. Thank you. We'll move on to the second item, which is the alterations and refurbishment of Fareham Parkway, a building that we have. Susan, is that yourself, or Rebecca, is that you presenting?
That's me. Thank you, Councillor Forster. Thank you. So this report sets out proposals for investment to make alterations and do some refurbishment and condition works in the Fareham Parkway corporate office building in order to provide appropriate accommodation in that building for the County Council staff that work there. The project is identified in the 22-23 capital programme, and the total investment is £2.5 million, which will allow us to bring that building up to an appropriate standard. So the recommendation in this report is for you to grant spend approval for the project proposals for investment in Fareham Parkway at a total capital cost of £2.5 million.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Again, we reviewed this earlier on today. It's good to see that the building is being brought up to a higher standard, including access requirements that are needed and many other changes, and that was reflected in the acquisition price of the building back in 2016. I'm happy to approve those recommendations, or that recommendation, as listed for the capital expenditure of 2.5 million as on page 41, paragraph 2. So consider that approved. Thank you. We now move on to the exclusion of press and public, because we have to go into some confidential items. So can I resolve that the public is excluded from this meeting during the following items of business, as it's likely that if members of the public were present during these, there would be disclosure of exempt item. If that is agreed by everyone, can I ask for the webcast to be stopped, and then we can carry on with that remaining exempt business. So can you stop the webcast, please?